after the moderators failed to press her on the issue.
She allow abortion in the 8th month, 9th month, 7th month?
Come on.
Okay, would you do that? Why don't you ask her that question?
Why don't you answer
That's
the
problem.
question? Would you
because
veto?
Under Roe v.
Answer
Wade,
the question. Would you veto?
you could do abortions in the 7th month, the 8th month, the 9th
That's
month,
not true.
and probably after birth.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born.
But data shows 9 states and Washington, D.C. have no restrictions on abortion at all. Here to help us break down Harris's stance is Florida Congresswoman Cammack. Kat, it's so great to have you on this morning, as always. So Kamala Harris refused to draw the line or answer the question of where she would draw the line. 7, 8, 9 months. What does that tell you?
Well, first, Rachel, it tells me that she is a liar. She absolutely is the most radical when it comes to the issue of protecting life and young children, particularly those most vulnerable, those in the womb. And we know, as you pointed out, there are 9 states that have no restrictions on abortion. And across the country, we have several states, over a dozen, that have state ballot initiatives like Florida to have that same issue, unrestricted abortion, be put on the ballot, the Constitution. So it's very, very scary that we have someone who is a contender for commander-in-chief who is not willing to take a stand for women, for the health of women. As we all know, abortion is not health care, and unrestricted abortion is very, very dangerous. So it's really it's very discouraging to hear someone, particularly a woman, talk about it with such glib.
You know, Congresswoman, it's interesting. Ever since that clip came out, people on TikTok, young women have been calling abortion clinics saying, hey, I'm pregnant, I'm 34 weeks pregnant, and they set them an appointment. So this idea that this never happens, and by the way, you see the casualness with which the people from the abortion clinic talk about, you know, what you need to do and what the procedure's like. It's horrifying. It's clearly happening, and she's in denial. I want to show you really quick. This is her record, Kamala Harris's record in 2020. She opposed the Pain-Capable Unborn Child Protection Act, which, of course, would have banned abortion after 20 weeks. In 2019, she opposed the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act, which would have prohibited medical workers from failing to exercise proper care for a child who survives abortion. It goes on and on. By the way, we've had Congresswoman guests on this show who are survivors of the abortion procedure, and they are alive and well and very much against abortion. You almost were aborted, and I'd love for our viewers to hear that story.
You know, as you know, Rachel, this is a personal issue for me. My mom, she had suffered a stroke in her late 20s while pregnant with my sister and was told that she would never be able to have children safely again. And when she found herself pregnant with me many years later, against the advice of her doctors and her own family, she carried me to term. And she was under a tremendous amount of pressure to abort me. So I am grateful for her bravery today. Oh, I'll get emotional. You know, it's just a tough issue because so many women are in difficult circumstances, and there's so many wonderful pregnancy centers out there that can help them. And when we see things like Amendment 4 on the ballot in Florida, where there's no parental consent, there is no physician required to perform these abortions, meaning that any healthcare provider in the state of Florida, which could be a chiropractor, a dental hygienist, an acupuncturist, it is absurd what this language does. It's all funded by George Soros and his folks that support these liberal policies. This is something that women across the country need to understand. We have struggled to really get true women's health care and maternal health care in this country. And the policies of Kamala Harris and the left, they are not focused on that. They are absolutely radical when it comes to abortion. And every Democrat in the last Congress, I have to remind viewers, they voted for abortion up until the day of natural delivery. That, to me, is absolutely unacceptable.
It's horrifying. By the way, we just did a story, Congresswoman, on a state senator, Democrat, who has left the party, in part, she says, because of that radical position. She's Hispanic, so that doesn't surprise me. It's when people hear what they're for, and it's sad that we didn't get to hear Kamala say where she would draw the line, but we have to assume there is no line when she won't say what the line is. Congresswoman, we're so glad you came on. And more importantly, we're so glad and proud of your mom for her courage, because we love you and we're so glad that you're with us here.
Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.